Once you've got Greenfoot up and running on your system, then you are ready to create your first program. So here I have Greenfoot open and it's blank. There's nothing going on here. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a folder on my desktop, and I'm going to call it Greenfoot Projects. This is where I'm going to store all the files for my Greenfoot programs. Actually, in Greenfoot they call them scenarios, but it's basically a project folder. So once I've done that, I can go Scenario, New, and inside the new Greenfoot project folder, I'm going to create my first scenario. I'll call it First Scenario. And it's going to be a real simple program. It's going to print out a statement that says Hello Greenfoot. Okay, so here it is right here. It's called First Scenario. And I'll widen it up here a little bit. And it's basically blank. There's a couple things here which we'll use later with our GUI programs, but basically it's blank. So the first thing I'll do, step one, is to say new class. When I create a new class, it's basically a text file that's going to hold my program. And I'm going to call that Hello Greenfoot. Click OK. And you see it appears down here, Hello Greenfoot. And if I double click it, that takes me into it. Now when you first create a new class, it gives you a lot of text here in a template, which I don't really like, so I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to select all and just delete it, so it's basically a blank text file. And I'm going to say public class Hello Greenfoot. That's going to be the name of my program. And I'm going to space in 3, 1, 2, 3. That's my where I do it with an end curly brace. And I want to say slash slash, which is a comment, n class Hello Greenfoot. So that's the end of the class there. Now inside of that, so this is kind of the outline of the actual program. What actually makes the program work is something called public static void main string with brackets args 1, 2, 3 and method main. And inside of here, I'm going to write my actual program. It's going to be one line of code. It's going to be system.out.println, and it's going to say Hello Greenfoot. Just a simple line of text. Now, once I've typed this in and made sure everything is lined up here with my curly braces, I'm going to click Compile. And after I click Compile, what that's going to do is going to create what's called Java bytecode, or basically binary code for my program, and check for errors and things like that. I can close it. And the second thing I can do is to, after I've written it, is to run it. So if I right click on Hello Greenfoot, if I click on the main part of the program, main, click OK, you'll see there's my Hello Greenfoot. It simply prints out a statement. So I'm going to go back in and just kind of modify it. I'll put the exclamation point here. Maybe copy this, go down here and say, change the text here over and out. Okay. And I'll just make a little comment error so you can see what happens. If I get rid of the semicolon and click Compile, it'll know it's missing a semicolon, so I can go back in, put my semicolon back, and recompile, so you can see how that works. I'll close it again, and then rerun it. And click OK. So there's Hello Greenfoot over and out, but you'll see that this one here, my first one, is still there. What I can do to make sure I can just see one set of output is go under Options once I've selected the window. Click on Options and click Clear. You'll notice that there's this option for clear screen at method call, which is supposed to clear it every time I run it. For some reason, this version of Greenfoot doesn't clear it automatically. I have to do it manually, but maybe in future versions they'll have that all fixed up. At any rate, I'll go back in, click on it, and click OK, and you'll see there's my Hello Greenfoot over and out. Okay. And then finally, what's actually created inside the folder? Well, here's my Greenfoot projects folder. I'll double click it, open it up here. There's my first scenario that I just created. And inside there are a bunch of files. There's 2 folders for images and sounds for projects that are GUI based, which we'll do later. And then there's my hello greenfoot.java file. If we take a look at it, it's simply just a text file. You can see right here, just a simple text file. And then there's a readme.txt, which is just for extra comments if I want to put them in. But the 2 ones that are interesting are the .class, which is what was created after I compiled, and the C text file. So just for curiosity's sake, I'm going to delete these. and I'm going to recompile. And you'll see that after I recompile, those files are put back. So really those can be created from the .java files. So this is the important file. And then finally there's a project.greenfoot file, which actually can let me start up the program Greenfoot and load in this project. So let me demonstrate that. Let me close out Greenfoot. So Greenfoot is completely closed out. If I go into the first scenario folder and open that guy up, it'll actually start up Greenfoot, as you can see. And then it will load in my hello Greenfoot file right there, which then I can compile, of course, and I can run right there. So that's what the last file is. So in a nutshell, you create a scenario. You can create a new class file, which actually is a text file that my programs can reside in. And then I can compile it and run it. And all the while, all these are just stored into a folder on your hard drive. So those are the steps to go ahead and create your first program using Greenfoot.